come to story ideas on the fly, where we choose a random prompt from a hat and try to develop it into a story idea without all the distractions. Okay, today's prompt: an angel and demon are forced to work together. Yes, they get together. Who loves?
Okay, so the question is, are they forced to work together as an attempt to try to get their societies to stop constantly wage war against each other? Or because there is something that angels and demons can't fight alone, and so they have to work together?
Let's go with the second one, because we've done something too similar to the
Alright.
first idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so this is obviously using
It doesn't even have to be a large scale event that forces them to work together.
So-
It could be something that they're both that's important to the two of them personally.
Good point.
That causes
So
them to
this
agree.
is obviously based on Christian mythology.
Yes.
Yes, Christians have a mythology too.
Yes.
It's different from what Christians actually believe
It's
in.
probably best to go high fantasy with it, or unless
High
we want to go
fantasy
urban or
or-
something else.
High fantasy or urban both work. This is angels and demons
You could go
are
either way.
specifically. Yeah, I feel
I'm personally leaning a little more towards high fantasy.
high fantasy.
Okay, high fantasy
it is. Okay.
So,
All right.
you have an angel.
So what's something that both an angel and a demon
would need the other
could
for.
care about?
So first off, what kind of angels and demons are these? Is the big question, because like in many. Originally, it's like, angels are servants of God, demons are servants of the devil, and are pure evil. So you have
But in a lot of stories, those lines have been blurred, and things can get.
And
Yeah, what is
originally,
the
demons
mythology
were
of this
completely
universe?
immaterial beings, and angels were usually made of metal, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I didn't know that one. All
Oh
right.
yeah, the cherubim was described as being made of bronze.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's look and say.
Actually, I think the classic one was described as being made of
Okay.
marble.
Can
So
we
let's
stay
go
on
with
topic?
More, maybe more classical angel and demon, not necessarily purely good and purely evil, but let's go kind
Well,
of classic.
What if we do something totally different?
Make them all
Shoulder
squirrels.
angel, shoulder demon.
Okay.
And they're both trying to influence this guy, okay? Because I've never seen this done, okay?
Okay.
A shoulder angel and a shoulder demon, and he gets himself in some trouble. And so they decide that both of them kind of like this guy. You know,
Well, they don't want him to die.
They don't want him to die. They want to keep him alive. So they're going to have to work together
Mm-hmm.
to try to save this guy from his own folly, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And in
The other demons and angels trying to send him to their respective domains.
okay,
Yes.
Okay, the issue you end up having with that is most of the time your shoulder angel and your shoulder devil are actually kind of the same you.
yes, but
They're
we're
aspects of you.
Not
yes,
necessarily,
but we're going
though.
to take this in a more literal sense. You've got a shoulder angel, you've got a shoulder devil. We don't have to work with, we can
Yeah.
set our own world, we can set our own rules. And
So which one's the demon and which one's the angel?
which one's the boy?
girl?
Yeah.
The angel is on his right shoulder, the demon is on his left. There we go, we've got it.
Yeah, but
Which
which
one's
one's the
the boy
girl
and
and
which
which one's the boy?
Oh.
You could go either way. with
yeah,
Most
it.
you
of the things
could.
I've seen where you have an angel and a demon working together, usually the demon is the guy, and the angel is the girl, and somehow is actually a worse person than the demon.
You could go
I
the
have
other way
seen
too,
that,
though, and
actually,
have the demon
You've seen
be
that
a
like
girl,
5 times.
be a femme fatale type, and the
Yeah.
angel be good.
Right. And the angel be
Good
a paladin
handsome,
type
yeah.
of, yeah.
So either way
She
works.
can go either way. Okay.
What kind of trouble would a human get into that both the demon and the angel would want to save him from?
The kind that would get you into limbo?
No,
Yes.
no, wait. What about this? What if angels and demons aren't necessarily beings of higher power trying to determine your afterlife, but more they're kind of spirits that act as guides to you, because these are the shoulder angels and shoulder devils. And so what if in this world angels and devils are actually more play the role of not quite therapists, but more counselors to individuals.
Okay. And the angel always
But the angels
always tells you
focus
to
on
consider your duty and
duty
others
and reason, and so they're very.
Yes.
So the angels are very focused on
and the needs of
okay,
others.
Yes, let us focus on reason, while the devils are very reckless, and it's just like, yeah, go ahead, do it.
Have some fun.
Yeah, live
Hey,
life.
she broke your heart. She deserves to die.
Or
You're not
your
die.
demon, because this is demon, not devil.
Right.
Right.
And not that, I mean, we're getting into semantics here, but a lot of the times demon, it's a blurrier line of good and evil. So what if your demon, what your demon is supposed to do for you is counsel you based on your needs and say, no, you have needs too. Don't just consider what is the right thing in your duty, but also consider your own needs, which is not inherently evil. But if you take it the wrong way, it can get you into a lot of trouble.
Let's look at this too. Maybe instead of, because you always think of your shoulder angel, shoulder demon as a part of yourself, or are you trying to say something?
Well, I was just going to correct Heather that the difference between a demon and a devil is Munville. That's literally it.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of the things though, what if demons and devils are actually both small vases? Okay, they're both small vases.
Shoulder angels and
shoulder
demons.
angels. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Shoulder angels, shoulder demons are both small vases in this fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
And many, many years ago, they were they were almost
Hunted
they had
to the brink of
extinction because there are some races out there that find them very easily to subdue, find them very tasty, find them whatever. So they came to the humans going, look, we will help you. We we will guide you because
to work in pairs.
Right.
Now they have to work in pairs because
because this is kind of their agreement with the human world. You protect us, we help you, and they love to do this. And so
but they still don't get along with each other.
Well, no, because they have
different philosophies on life.
They have fundamentally different philosophies. And so you get your little counselors, and some people may have a shoulder angel and no shoulder demon. Some people, but
But I think most of the time it would work best to have two because the shoulder angel will say, hey, do what's right, do the right thing. Not just the right thing, but do what's best for others. And the shoulder demon could say, hey, do what's...
I like having it be a dichotomy. Angels focus on reason and the needs of others. Meanwhile, the devils focus on emotion and personal needs. So it's like, hey, you're mad. You go ahead, get some... Hey, those people hurt that you care about. Revenge is justified. You can hurt them back. It'll be cathartic and get that emotion out. Meanwhile, it's like no. The cycle of violence only continues to breed more cycle of violence.
Yeah.
And
so it's best when you get a pair.
Right.
And so he has a pair, and then he gets himself into some kind of trouble. What kind of trouble could he get himself into?
Can these angels and demons turn invisible?
That could be.
You could do that.
Because you kind of want them to be able to, because kind of
if everyone has them, then they're probably the kind of thing where either everyone can see them or only the person that they are wanted to choose.
I don't know everyone
you can turn them to invisible, then that could be one of the reasons why they need the humans' help is because there is a predatory race on them that can see invisibility.
Nice.
And so they need the safety of the human world.
Mm-hmm. The human keeps them safe.
Right.
All right.
And
so what if your guy who has the angel and demon, what if the problem he got himself into was kind of a little bit from listening to both of them? Or maybe a little, because if you have him just do something that's totally irrational and stupid, then the angel can blame the demon. But if you have him do something that's totally, I don't know how to do something something totally giving tree, then the demon will blame the angel. But what if you have him do a little bit of both? He gets into some real trouble. They're both going, it's your fault. And then they're like, well, we kind of have to get him
What if
it
was a situation where even if where the problem wasn't so much that it mixes the two, but what if it was hey, you can either do the emotional thing or the logical thing. However, he tried to do both at the same time, and that's what caused the problem.
Or it could have nothing to do with their advice. He could have not listened to either of them.
Okay.
And then they're going, dang, now our guy's going to go, he's going to end up getting killed. And if we don't save him, we've lost our...
Yeah.
We've
lost our... Though, then honestly, their best option is just find a different person.
I don't know you can necessarily
I don't
do
think it's that
depending on the
easy. I
girls.
think I think these things seem to be have a symbiotic relationship with things. So it's probably they probably bond with people and then basically
Okay,
fuel
whatever.
themselves off the
But
energy.
that's not the point I was making. If we have it so that it's entirely his fault, then I'm not rooting for the guy.
You know,
I'm rooting for them to
Well,
find a new
it
host.
depends
Yeah,
on
but
it
you know,
depends
you
on
can-
how terrible of a thing
right,
it was.
you can-
Because if he made a mistake and it was an honest mistake that just caused a bunch of problems, he just got involved with someone who was really terrible, and so that wouldn't really be his fault. That would be kind of just
he was
something
just too
happened to
trusting.
him.
He was just too trusting. Yeah, go ahead.
What I was saying is I think we should go with Dan's idea.
Okay.
The one where what it ended up being was both ideas they had could have worked, but they were arguing so much that he ended up finally deciding, okay, I'll try to do both of them, and that ended up making everything collapse around him.
You're saying if
And so
if
now
it was partially
they
their fault, then they have
then
a
they
little
actually
more...
have a reason to work together and not just blame us to blame this guy.
Yeah, but you know what? Even if you can blame that guy, you still could want to help him.
Yeah. Regardless, what is the exact problem?
Yes, but it's less powerful that
Okay.
way.
Okay.
I don't know. He could get into trouble with a gang. This is high fantasy though, so probably not exactly.
You could have gangs in
We
high
could actually-
fantasy.
No, you could get into you know, like I said, trusting someone he shouldn't and finding himself in some dark plot.
Yeah.
You know, with some, hey, this was a cultist type group. I didn't realize it was, you know,
Yeah.
this was a, you know.
Are they separated from him, or are they trying that they helped get him into with him?
I
'Cause if he
think their
gets
main
caught-
power is to give him advice. So one thing you could have it be is he all right, dang it, I have like some starts.
Okay.
But balancing it is hard.
So
Because if he gets kidnapped and pulled away, and they're both left on their own, then they have to go on a
you
journey
could
to
have
find
at least
him.
the initial problem be almost a debt,
Okay.
where he needed something. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it
I
out. But
personally like them not having to always be with him.
yeah,
I think that makes a strong
but I think
story.
you start them with him.
In fact, you could do something where he made a decision where they weren't there at the time, and they're like, "Oh, had we been there, we could have advised him better." And so then
Yeah.
it's not him going against their counsel, but it's not them giving bad advice either. It's just, oh, we weren't there, and he didn't do so well on his
Or
own.
could you have had him get into trouble while they were, or do something stupid while they weren't there, or trusted someone while they weren't there, and so they didn't know and then he got into a situation, they were like, well, this seems like the best option, but they didn't know about this other guy who had, or this debt or this other problem that he had, and so next thing he knows, he wakes up in a crate somewhere, or he gets kidnapped by this cult, and they're going, well, you could have told us that. I don't know, different options, but
Well, they could either come with him and help him work the way out,
or find
I
him.
kind of like, if you're going to make him the main hero, then they go with him. If you're going to make
them
the
main
heroes, then I think that they don't spend the whole time with him, that they're coming around going, okay, now we've got to find him, we've got to save him, we've got to help him get out. And maybe at the end, he is the one that's going to get himself out, but it's going to be through following their advice.
Yeah,
That is
their
finally-
main power
That
is
is
to give advice.
finally good advice because the two of them are working together, taking into account everything.
Does the guy get a girl?
Of course.
Okay.
No, actually, I don't care if the guy gets a girl or not, depending on how
What?
the character.
But the demon and the angel have to get together.
Oh yeah, we already
Yes.
established that.
Yeah,
I was just wondering how.
I personally would probably give the guy a girl. You know me.
There you
Yes.
go.
Where's it, Mike?
Honestly, I don't think this is the kind of story where you want to have as much of the he's in debt to the mob, they're having to go on some adventure for it. Honestly, I think you want to go more of a Goodwill Hunting route with this.
You
Okay.
can do that.
Where it's not a big story, where he's having to try to figure out how is he going to get the money to pay off his debt to the mob, or they're going to kill him. No, it's this guy. I kind of think that what I'm thinking of this is something happened And for some reason or another, the angel and the demon weren't able to help him. And whatever this did ended up breaking this guy. He is completely collapsed and in depression.
One thing you could do is you could have him meet someone who kind of tells him something that sounds really good, and he agrees to it and ends up making him coast.
Yeah, but
the
stakes should be the guy's life, not the world. I get that, obviously, because he's
kind of saying this more seems like a kind of story where what these guys are doing. Honestly, I think it would work best if they're basically acting as his therapist.
Yeah, you could do that. All right. So we have we've got. I think we've got it all. Heroes.
We don't have a really defined villain, but a lot of it's a situation.
No, the villain is the situation that the guy got himself into. And yes. His life's now kind of in shambles.
And there would be a villain within that situation.
Yeah. So what kind of situations do you think would be good for this story? What would you like to see?
Because we've all kind of come up with different ideas for that. So yeah, we'd love to hear your ideas.
The situation is something like he lost his wife.
You could do that.
Could do that too.
Or something, where he's sad.
I mean, you could you could do
a lot
of different things with
the
situation. All right, we'd love to hear your ideas. So please put them in the comments, and we're always happy to have more ideas for our hat. We will see you next time.